ready, everybody. He's about to do something stupid.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, gentlemen, but you seem to have me confused with a character in a fictional show. Now, if you'll excuse me, my fondue is just about...
And welcome to the podcast. I'm your host today, Live to Win, episode 25. We're going to be talking about Wild West RP. I'm going to be really excited to talk about Artist of the Week, but that will be at the end of the podcast. Anything else besides Wild West RP, or?
Hi, everyone. I'm Dark Fox, also a co-host on this stream. Hi. On this podcast. Hi. Other than Wild West RP, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm trying to think if there's any like gaming news that showed up recently, but I can't. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I'm screwing things up left and right. There we go. Had the wrong thing there. Alright. Yeah, gaming news and updates, I got nothing, but I gotta ask. I was actually lurking in your stream the other day on RDR2. Yeah. Is your Twitch all updated?
What do you mean, is my Twitch all updated?
Well, isn't that where all your VODs are for RDR2? Because I see up to part 8.
Should be up to date. I mean,
the reason why is I was actually really tired when I first showed up. I actually thought I missed quite a bit, so I didn't think much about it. But it was around the time you shot O'Driscoll in the face, which, by the way, totally agree on that.
That was great.
It was around there. I actually had to break away. I was like, wait, how did you miss a huge chunk of the story? because I went back and I had to look at podcasts, or not podcasts, but your RDR2 part 8, and if I saw part 9, there is a huge chunk missing, and I don't know how you skipped all of that.
What do you mean there's a huge chunk missing? Like, what did I miss? I'm curious now.
Spoilers? Just say it?
Apparently I missed it?
Yeah, there's a huge part in the story to where you see why Arthur is coughing a lot. Did you get that?
Oh, yeah, that part where you pass out and then someone takes you to the doctor and he's like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, I didn't see that in part 8 at all.
I think that was in part 7.
Oh, that was in part 7.
Yeah, part 7 that happened.
Huh. Okay. So, did you also, because I also didn't see this part either, did you do the recon?
Oh, the hot air balloon for the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Where was that?
I think that was also part 7.
Huh, okay. And Molly?
When Dutch, or not when Dutch kills her, when the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That was also part 7.
Okay, so maybe it was in part 7. Okay.
I'm pretty sure everything you just said happened in part 7.
Okay, because I was trying to follow the timeline, and I was like, I remember those specific moments, but I didn't see them. I thought I did skim through part 7, but I guess I skipped it entirely. But yeah, yeah, those were like crucial moments, and I thought I would see them in 8, but I guess they're all in 7, I guess. But yeah, I wanted to see those moments, and I thought it was coming around this last stream, so that's what I thought was okay. So apparently I need to look at part 7. Okay, that explains a lot. I'll take a look at it again and maybe actually not skim through, I guess, and just watch it. Yeah, because I thought what I saw in part 7 is you were on the island. And I think everything that I came across, it was before that, or after that, I mean.
Was it part 7 when I was on the island, or part 6?
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. No, I basically, I ended the one part after getting off Guarma, after the Pinkertons show up, and you have to use the Gatling gun. That's when I...
Which, by the way, I even saw that. Dude, you had easy mode. How the fuck did you be able to see all your enemy targets? I was amazed by that.
Low graphics, probably.
Apparently so, because...
Low graphics and no fancy lighting.
Because in my version, I couldn't see shit. I was passing by shadows, and basically I could not tell if they were enemy or foe, or friendly or foe. And it's just... That was part of like what made that entire bit just kind of interesting for me, is just... I was just seeing shadows left and right, and I just couldn't see anything, and somehow I didn't die. It was weird, but it was fun though. It was the unpredictability is the reason why I liked it.
Oh yeah, like Red Dead 2 is so much fun.
Totally, it's really really good.
Also, I'm guessing the prologue is going to be fucking huge because I'm 73% done, and I feel like we're coming up to the last big thing that's going to fuck everything up.
Yes. It's basically, for Arthur's story, it's going to be, like, you're 90% there. But yeah, there is a prologue, and that definitely adds to the gameplay for sure. And that's going to stretch it out to, depending on how long you take your time, because I think you've been doing a lot of fast traveling, so to be fair, I think that's probably what extended my playthrough. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, as soon as I found out fast traveling was the thing, I'm like, hell yeah.
Have you came across any of the treasure hunts yet?
I've done all the treasure hunts.
Oh,
or at
nice.
least all I can do. I spent like 2 days off stream collectible hunting. I've got everything that you can get as Arthur, because I'm assuming you're never allowed, and especially because I'm dying, and there's no way I'll ever be allowed in the other half of West Elizabeth or New Austin.
Right.
So I just assume, oh, this is prologues. So I've got everything that I can get as Arthur, and I'm assuming prologue you play as John, because, you know, next game's Red Dead 1.
Yeah, the prologue basically sets up the events for what takes place in Part 1, for sure. It does.
Nice, because I don't remember any of it.
I streamed RDR1, and it was awesome, just having to relive all of that. It was great. I absolutely loved it. Would do it again, but going through RDR1, my PlayStation 3 wants to crap out so bad. You know when it's bad is when you gotta warm it up in order to even get it to work.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I gotta warm it up, legitimately. I gotta turn it on and off repeatedly, and eventually, at some point, it's just gonna click on and it's gonna stay on. Otherwise, hard shutdown. So, yeah, I think my PlayStation 3 is telling me it wants to die, and sadly, I'm not re-getting a PlayStation 3. And I checked online kind of recently, just as like shits and giggles. Like $200, $500 for a PlayStation 3. Come on, man. So
yeah, that's a lot.
For those prices, I'll get a 4 and just hope to God maybe it would probably work. I don't know. So, yeah. But yeah, RDR1, RDR2, I like them both. We'll obviously talk more about it when you finish RDR. Mm-hmm. But yeah, enjoy the ride. Also, did you ever come across the statue puzzle by any chance? I'm curious.
I did, yes. That I got that during my collectible
that
stuff. Yep.
That was one of the hardest puzzles. I think I threw in the towel and just looked up a guide on it online, and yeah, that one was difficult for me.
Yeah, even with the guide, I messed up several times. I'm like, oh wait, nope.
Mm-hmm. Same.
No, it was supposed to be this person because these many fingers are broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's because this religion, these numbers are important to it. I'm like, good for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would I know that? Why would I know that for a religion that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, I didn't even know about that, and someone stopped by my channel and just... I think it was someone I met during Payday 2, and I just haven't seen him in a long time. He himself is actually a Payday streamer, but he's been doing a lot of other different games besides Payday, and he brought that up. Oh yeah, go to this location. And so I knew of it, and I wanted to do it. Then I had to find it, and I just could never find it. And then somehow, I think I just gave up on it, and I think I was doing something up in where you got the Native Americans, all their territory. Yeah, all up north, and so I think I was just passing through there to or from, and I just happened to just see something, notice something. I saw like some carvings, and I kind of came across another area in another location. I think it was actually closer to the snow, I think, for that one. And I just saw carvings on the wall, and I was like, you're not going to have carvings on the wall unless there's something. And then I just started looking around. From what I remember, I think that's what happened. And then sure enough, I found like this cave, and I was like, oh. And then I started looking, I was like, oh, this is the puzzle I heard about. And yeah, so I put the pieces together, tried to figure it out, couldn't. And then I think off stream threw in the towel and was like, okay, I need to look up a guide, and then when I stream it, we'll go ahead and do it. And yeah.
God, money quickly becomes so worthless.
Oh God, like, near the end, yeah.
5,000 on me, and I've got 7,500. I've got 7,500 in gold bars that I'm carrying on me. Mm-hmm. Like, it just almost 10,000 in just gold bars that I just have on my person.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I went and got all the collectibles and treasures, but still.
Nice. Yeah, it was definitely, yeah, near the end of the game for me, it was like, I got thousands upon... I almost hated the game. The fact that I couldn't unlock all the weapons, like, it's linked to story. And by not getting all the weapons, it was pissing me off. Like, I have the money to buy it. Just give it to me, so... Yeah, I forget what weapons I was, like, really wanting, and they were just... It felt like they were unlocked for so long, and it's like, I got the cash, I could get them, just unlock them already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... Yeah, go ahead.
There's a couple of the weapons you can get earlier, because of like, they're on the map, like the pump-action shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
Semi-auto shotgun? I think you can get both of those.
Yeah, I forget.
But I just found out today that you can go to your chest and unequip weapons from your horse. Which I was like, oh my god, are you serious? I can get rid of all these Paddleman revolvers I accidentally picked up and put and freaking had now that I touched my horse. Because fuck, man, you're not being careful of what you're picking up. You just end up with so many goddamn guns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, I could, at the end of the game, wait, I can unequip weapons? So I unequipped every single weapon I don't plan on using.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't have to circle through 30 different rifles just to find my bolt action.
Yeah, that's definitely a feature I do remember in, what is it, GTA 5. I don't know if it was... I don't know if they ever added it to the story, but I do know on online they did add that. And it was... Yeah, exactly what you said. You gotta go through all these weapons that you don't use to get the one that you like. And it's like... Yeah, they allow you to keep the weapon, but you could put away in your locker so that way you could just... When you're out and about, you could just switch to the weapon you want and actually use it. Yeah, I completely love that feature. I'm glad they had it cross over to RDR. 100%.
Yeah, it's great. It's great now. Just like, you just so many goddamn fucking weapons. It's like, stop, please. I don't need 5 Cattleman revolvers and 3 freaking carbine repeaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Also, yeah. So I think it's weird. Like, on the stuff, it's like Midnight's pistol's the best weapon in the game, but I fully upgraded a Mauser, and the stats of the fully upgraded Mauser are better than Midnight's pistol. And I was like, am I just not seeing something? Because these stats all say that that it's better.
Well, stat-wise, yeah, it will probably be better, but one thing that I noticed in my playthrough that I don't know if you noticed yet, is it just me, or was the aiming entirely off in some cases?
Oh, that's because it's actually a mechanic that you don't see unless you inspect your weapon. you actually, the more you use a weapon, the more familiar you become with the weapon.
Okay.
So basically, that only affects your your kind of accuracy and kind of how quickly you recover from like shooting in that to zoom in fully. So there is actually a thing where if you restart the game and suddenly you feel like, oh man, why am I so bad at shooting? It's because you're not proficient with any of the weapons.
Okay.
It's an actual mechanic.
Yeah, because I forget when, but I remember because I always made sure that everything was like fully. Because I do know they deteriorate over time, so I always make sure that they are always up to par. They're clean, all that stuff. But I noticed, I forget what weapon it was. I think it was a rifle, and it's like rifles are during that time period. I do know are way more accurate than a pistol. So I figured, all right, just aim right at the person, and I think I went center mass right at the torso. Still somehow missed, and I think at one point I even missed 3 times in a row, and the 4th shot finally landed, and it was like that. I mean that's kind of awesome that it feels like every shot's not guaranteed that it's gonna land, which is kind of realistic, but at the same time, it just when you need those shots to land, it becomes frustrating. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So. Not a big deal, but yeah.
Do you feel a difference between the rifle and the repeater? Because as much as I want to keep using the rifle, I just feel like it's just a repeater with less bullets. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like the rifle has. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It just doesn't feel like the rifle has the kick it should.
Yeah, it's been so long since I last played, so I don't remember. Which is actually kind of another thing I actually did. I actually looked up to see how many games I actually played this year. And now I'm actually kind of thinking about it. Not to break away from RDR, but
oh yes.
But I actually because there was stuff I was like wanting to look up and compare to your playthrough, but I actually looked at it. I got like 15 different games I think I played for this year alone, and the year is still not done yet. I think I kind of want to do a countdown of like my favorite games I played in 2020. I think that sounds awesome. So I don't know if you want to be in on it, but otherwise I might save it for like an after dark or something.
So wait, like going back over what games we played over 2020?
Yeah. Because obviously we're not going to be playing games that, right when they came out.
Right.
Because RDR 2 is like a great example. Because like it was released on console first, and then a year later released on PC. And I actually did play it, I believe, last year, actually, around this time. Well, closer to winter, I think. But it was like I think I finished right before 2020 started. Because I was hoping that was actually going to be on the list, so that way I could probably cheese it and add RDR 2, but nah, I finished it before 2020. Like, yeah, I have like 15 different games that I played. Some of them were revisits, but yeah, I have like a list of like 15 different games. And most of them are games that I never played or touched until this year, and there are some bangers in there. I don't know, I just kind of thought that would be something interesting to do.
I'm trying to remember when I started playing Borderlands. Oh, no, I did do all of the Borderlands series this year because it was in December. Or no, was it in December? When did I get my computer? It was either in December or January.
I forget.
It was somewhere around there. So yeah, I would have done the entire. Oh, I did. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that might be an interesting thing to do. To just take a look at that.
But yeah, that's so anyway, when I was looking up RDR2 stuff, I kind of also did that, um but yeah, I was looking up stuff for RDR2 and God, I actually kind of forgot what I was going to say actually. But yeah, the weapons and stuff, that's it's been so long since I last played, so I can't remember some of the mechanics, but that was something I do remember is sometimes my cursor is right on top of somebody and I still missed.
Yeah, yeah, missing those obvious shots. You're like, I don't know what went wrong.
But yeah, RDR2 is fun. You should be right around the corner of finishing up before the prologue, and I definitely need. There's definitely some scenes I want to look up in your playthrough. But yeah, I thought that was going to be in part 5, but I guess I got to look at part 7.
Yeah, I'm glad I somehow didn't break the game.
I thought you did for at one point because I guess the series of events kind of took place differently when you did them compared to me. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the game that I was talking about, basically for me, it took place like just before all the stuff that took place in your events of part before the events of your part 9 where you're at. So. Yeah, so I thought maybe because I was really wanting to see some of those scenes, but yeah, I guess they lined up differently, I guess. And I guess can't really think of anything else that I want to talk about for RDR2. So, you want to talk about your adventures in Wild West?
Oh God, I gotta try to remember where I was at. Shoot, last podcast was on the calendar 25th. Let me go back into my videos. See which day was the 25th. 25th would have been. Oh, that doesn't help me because it just says published August 4th. That doesn't help me at all.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back into my Discord announcements to the 25th and see what day it was. 25th was day 13. So from day 13 onwards, I couldn't have talked about. Go back. Wild West RP. Day 13? Okay. Oh yeah, because day 14 was. Okay, so we haven't talked about that, obviously. I don't remember what happened day 13. That was the one I did after stream, and I think that was a horse race. I don't remember which one. Day 14. Unfortunately, my fucking internet broke to shit that day, and we actually got unfortunately got interrupted because my internet just hard crashed. But we had saved one of these guys that 13's when we did the hunting trip. We we met Eli, who's like one of our friends now in RP. And Jim, he's a cool Mongolian guy. Fantastic with a bone. He's the guy, Liv, you'll remember. I'm gonna post the clip. It's gonna be part of the clips where I get William Telled. That was Jim who takes that shot. Yeah, and Eli and his group of friends and that. It was like the first day when I actually have like a group of people who I'm like, hey, I know these people, I RP with them, we have fun, we hang out. And that's really helped this sort of mood, because before it was just like, kind of like, oh, I've met people, but not always, around, or like I've met them once, never meet them again.
Right.
But now, actually having people who are like, oh yeah, we're all that and more. That's fun. So day 14, we got our encounter with Lorna Forcer, Kiwo's character, completely by accident. Kind of meta, kind of I in character speculation. So someone fucked with Lorna's horse. And I don't know what happened. I just know she wasn't there for me. And in character, I've kind of figured this out myself. Then out of character, like after I watched it back, because I was really curious how long like she was waiting, and I just 100% was how I speculated in character. I just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like I wasn't even going to check my post at Blackwater, the post office there. But I'm like, I'm leaving Blackwater. I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just check it? And she was stalking it because she'd sent a thing from there, daring. I guess I can't remember what it was, and I kicked myself because in character I didn't write down the telegrams, and I'm like, well, that'd be kind of not give it. I mean, I don't know if it would be meta going back and being like, hey, I remember this because my stream or recording, but like I just like, oh no, I didn't record it. I don't remember. And I get a gun to the back of my head, and I'm like, oh god, no. I'm like, no way. I hear her voice. I'm like, are you shitting me? Because literally a minute ago, I was thinking, I think I actually said on stream, like, I just don't have spikes locked to accidentally run into Lorna and her gang. And not a minute later, I'm being held up by Lorna and her gang. It's like, oh, okay. I guess this is happening. So I was really confused because I was also fucking unreasonably scared because it caught me so off guard, and I'm like shaking. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it was confusing because I thought she was after me, and I thought she knew who I was because Triple, her partner, had interrogated Spike, and Spike gave him my name. So I figured she knew who I was, and it was just really like I was so confused with the questioning because I'm like, I totally thought that it was planned and that, and then I realized when she's like, oh really, it's Spike's partner. I'm like, wait, she didn't know that from the beginning? Oh fuck. I'm like, oh no, maybe it is about to get bad. We shared some words, and unfortunately in the middle of that my internet fucking dropped. Ah, it sucked. I was like, god damn it. And on the forums, I was like, hey, sorry about that. It's like, oh, it's all good. Shit happens. So hopefully we get another, well, we probably are, because I'm not sure how I'm feeling. I I don't know if the private investigator thing really fits Ryan. And I'll be honest, Ryan's become so much more of a social character than I anticipated. Like I thought I never expected Ryan to be such a social character. But that's what's happened, and I'm like, huh, not not what I anticipated to happen. But yeah, I don't. Well, we'll 100% because we'll ride out the Lorna story arc or until a point when Ryan feels like he can kind of be like, "Hey, Spike, it's been great. I've helped you out this far, but I'm just not sure I can go any further." And I feel bad. I feel really bad because I don't really think there's anyone. I I know there's like no one else doing any of this detective stuff with him, and I'm like, I feel really bad, but that I don't. I don't. I'm gonna ride it out, and maybe I'll come around to it eventually. But it's just getting out of character feelings mixed in with in character feelings, where I'm like, out of character, I'm like, I don't want the RP to end, but in character, I'm like, does it is it really what my character wants to be doing? Like, should I be doing this? It it's it's something I've been on and off thinking about, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But actually, we ran into Lorna a second time that day. We just logged back on. I woke up. We ran to ended up back in Valentine, and I'm like, okay, well, I didn't get to check my post before. I'll check it again. I go into the post office. Hello again, Mr. Hastings. I'm like, we have to stop meeting like this. And further conversation was sort of like cut off because there was a shoot. Someone was shooting somewhere near us, and a sheriff came in, and she's just like out the back door. I thought I was being kidnapped. I'll be honest, because I still thought like I wasn't entirely sure, like I wasn't her target. But after about 15 minutes of standing around with her henchmen, being all confused, I'm like, oh, so I'm not being held hostage, and they're like, no, you're free. You could have walked away at any point. You're free to go. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, well then, what a surprise. Um, I can't remember. There was that. I'm trying to think. One of the days, I got caught up in like a posse, and like there's this group of highway robbers robbing people, and there was only like one deputy and a trainee on, and the deputy, she unofficially gave us permission to go after them. Unfortunately, we never found them, and well, it kind of just we spent a solid little bit looking for him, but we just didn't run into him. And it's like, oh well, that was a fun interaction, even though like nothing ended up happening from it. It was just so tense and fun. Also realizing now, oh, that's why my numbers are off in my collection. I don't have days 7 or 8 highlighted to the Steam thing or my Twitch thing. That's why the numbers are all up. Diverting. I'm trying to think of anything else. A lot of fun individual scenes, hunting trips, shenanigans. got caught in a really tense scenario where this gang showed up and just started shooting up the sheriff's office in Valentine, and me and Grace, one of the people who was part of Eli's group, and I think after that night, I'd say we're friends. I mean, we it's not on in the collection because I was having problems. The internet crashed. I didn't bother starting up stream again, and I was just so done with trying to get OBS to work. I just didn't even record it. But it was like after the scenario, and she was like, thanks for having her back, because we had her back. Like, we went into town with her, and like we're scoping it out, and we just had we had I'm trying to remember. We had like 4 people. Like, a couple were children. At least one or two were children and women who were just like, they weren't characters who would fight back. So it was really tense. We were in the small bar in Valentine. We told them all just to get behind the counter and keep their heads down while me and Grace went out with our rifles drawn and just were snaking around Valentine, trying to scope out the situation and make sure things were all right. Like, it was super fucking tense and awesome. Yeah, unfortunately, I crashed in the middle of that. Well, it was during a lull, and by the time I woke up, the gang had cleared out, but everyone was fine. Nothing had happened while I was when I crashed. Thankfully, I would have been sad if I would have felt really bad for if something bad happened and I could have been there to prevent it. But I'm trying to think of anything else that's happened. Nothing else really major. Just a lot of fun, just tagging out and doing random things and just hijinks and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna try and tonight. I tried last night to get on, but I fucked up some stuff, and well, suffice to say, I was not getting on that night. I was not getting on last night, so I'm gonna try tonight and get because there's a horse race going on tonight, and then we'll just do some other RP after that. But fingers crossed we can get on. I don't know. That's about all I have to say about RP, other than the fact that I've just been absolutely like, I don't know if I've played something on stream so much that I just thoroughly like, I've just enjoyed it immensely. And I don't really care that like no one watches, or at least that's what Twitch tells me, that's no one watching them. I don't really care. I'm just having so much fun. And really, that's just one of the things I just got to be like, you know what? I'm having a lot of fun with this. I don't care if no one ever watches it. I'm like enjoying this. And not to say I'm just going to switch over to RP entirely. No, I'd actually need viewers. If I got like 20 viewers consistently, I'd switch over to being an RP stream. But I don't. So yeah, I'll still do other stuff with RP in the mix. Once we're done I gave it away. Once we're done Red Dead 2, the story will swap out. Like, we'll then be doing RP and then Resident Evil 7. Because I have that now. And that's a game that surprisingly I don't know. It's been on my radar for a long time because when Resident Evil, I think actually of all the Resident Evil games I've watched anyone play, I'd say Resident Evil 7 I've watched the shit out of. Like, I was just so like, oh my god, I love Resident Evil 7 so much. I watched a lot of streams and videos and that of Resident Evil 7. I'm like, how's it taking me this long to actually play the game? Which I can't wait to have forgotten everything important. Oh, I can't wait to be like, oh yeah, I don't remember as much of this game as I thought I did. But yeah, that's sort of where I can't really think of anything else with RP. Stuff's happening. I'm having fun. Come watch me have fun, please.
Yeah, that's basically how I kind of felt when I first played Yakuza, is no one's really watching, but I'm just, like, really enjoying it. And, yeah. So I'm actually really glad that you finally found something, streaming-wise, that you're, like, really excited to do. Yeah. Hope, Wild West RP ends up being exciting for you. Yeah, that was definitely a thought that I did have, is how would Tark react when he comes across a streamer that he knows? And I didn't think about it until, like, you started saying it, and then I was like, okay, that does sound like the way he would react. Basically, by being starstruck, there's almost like a slight bit of fear, and it plays into what actually happened, which is kind of funny when you think about it. So, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. I guess we could go to clips, I suppose. We're coming up on the hour.
Yeah.
Alright, I actually got all of my clips.
There's 3 of them. Let me grab from Steam Clips. There we go.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
This one.
Alright.
How does happen?
Also, hello, Josh.
Yeah, I saw Josh a while ago there.
I didn't notice him because I had my collection open. Look, I'm just staring at the days trying to remember what the fuck I did. I'm like, okay, when did I do that?
It's 3. Wait, there should be 4, right?
I sent 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, I didn't see the link immediately. I thought you send them all at once, and... Okay, never mind. We're good. Got the fourth one here. Okay. Now I need to... do that, screen share. That. Go live. Full screen.
Oh yeah, so here's the courtesy of Liv, who thank you for clipping it. This is when
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw that pop up.
Yeah, that was the last one that I threw in there.
Okay. Well, just remember what I said once we get to the last one.
Unless
I
you want to do your clips first, we could.
Nah, no, it's fine. It's fine. I jumped the gun.
Alright. Yeah, basically, Ron Arterman. It's just freaking classic stuff. Yeah, it's self-explanatory. It's just funny. By the way, I do need to point out, all of these clips that I do have, all have music in them, so I do need to delete this VOD afterwards, so just a heads up for everyone.
Boog, alright, listen, alright? Just because you're best friends with Jean-Claude Van Damme, alright, does not mean, okay, that you can just, start doing all that shit, alright? You gotta warn me. Alright, what are you doing? Jean-Claude, no, Jean-Claude, listen, we stop. Jean-Claude, no! Jean-Claude! Jean-Claude Van Damme! God damn it, Boog, help! Get him off it! Jean-Claude! God damn it, no! No! God damn it, why? No! Jean-Claude Van Damme, I thought you were cool! Shit! Farrah Fawcett, don't just stand there and watch out! Somebody help me! Oh, Jesus Christ. I should have never came back to Los Santos.
I probably should have ended on that. That one.
Oh, that was great.
By the way, does anyone remember the first time I actually did play? I actually could play that one again, if anyone remembers. There was a clip I actually did play a while back, if you remember, to where he gets kidnapped and he's held captive by bikers. He kind of plays into that old clip from when he got, it was basically the same thing. Because at one point you even hear him say, "Farrah Fawcett, don't just stand there!" Because in the first one, he was fantasizing about Farrah Fawcett. They whipped the bag off, and he was like, "Oh God, why am I being held captive?" Oh man, it's just funny. Alright, so, this next one, he's kind of playing, what is it? He's playing Dead by Daylight, and, yeah, so a song just plays, and it just kind of speaks for itself. Here we go.
I'm just trying to be a good survivor, right? I'm just trying to do everything, and my teammates won't quit me in the hole. And it's like, dude, what's taking you so long to come help me out? Why can't you just seriously just help me out?
Oh, I thought that one was a little funny. Okay, now this one's just funny. Apparently, he's just like messing around with his settings in OBS, and yeah, it's just self-explanatory.
What is wrong with my eyes right now? Why do my eyes feel like they're not attached to my face? It needs to be blue for this. It doesn't count. There we go. It doesn't look as good though. What's wrong with my eyes? They don't feel like they're fucking. Hey chat. Do I look high? You think they can smell it? What if they smell it? What the fuck is going on? Oh, there we go. Oh god. So grainy. I don't know why. It's probably because I have the big light off. Ah! God, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Stop looking at me. What is wrong with my eyes right now?
Oh man. Good stuff.
Good
Now this
shit.
one was actually a clip from me. I was watching his stream, and so he jumped into Siege, and he basically just started messing around with all these guys, and just... He always says he doesn't care if he wins or loses. He only just wants to, like, have fun whenever he's doing, basically, what is it? Siege. And, well, this happens.
In a world, one man with one dream. To own a chocolate factory, a young boy named Charlie unknowingly has a guest. When all the Oompa Loompas fall ill, who will maintain the chocolate fountains and rivers? This is Willy Wonka and Coronavirus. Coming to a theater near you. Okay.
How did you make this special effect?
Oh, I just thought that was just so funny.
Oh god.
He was basically just fucking around with these guys, saying, "Yeah, I could do a spot on impersonation of like that movie guy at the movie theaters."
In a world.
Yeah, exactly. All right, those are all my clips. All right,
Okay.
See what you have. Looks like we got Nikita here.
Yep.
All right,
Their character, Rachel?
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
How does happen with illegal? Hello? Are you okay? Hello? I didn't turn it on. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Sorry about that. I couldn't hear for a minute. Are you okay?
Alright. No, I think I'm paralyzed. I may have broken my spine. But did you see that epic bike trip?
That one's good.
That's that character on the ground's Mr. Rogers, and he's a serial killer in GTA. It's like Mr. Rogers, he's a serial killer.
All right, looks like we got more RP here.
Yep, we got 2 from Ashlyn and her character Brenda.
Nice. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Going for the tackle? Stop running! Stop running!
We're gonna be on
Oh my the fuck!
Thank you for pulling the gun when you get up there.
I can't breathe.
We have
Oh my
one in
God.
custody.
Oh, when game physics just screw you over and you just have to laugh it out. That is great.
Yeah. Physics breaks are always funny.
All right, looks like we got another one. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Listen,
What?
it's really important you don't tell anybody what happened.
Okay, I won't. It'll be between you and me.
Okay.
Clark Cakes.
What?
What? Okay, what happened? You're standing really close to me.
Listen,
What?
turn around.
Wait, why?
Just turn around. You'll know. Just do it. Trust. It's a trust exercise.
Is this? Are we doing ERP?
No,
Okay,
no,
fine,
no,
I'll
no,
turn
no,
around,
no,
I'll turn
no,
around,
no.
I'll turn around. All right, I'm turning around.
Bitch, you're not telling anybody what happened. Oh shit. Oh, Brenda! I got you, Brenda. Don't worry.
Oxygen 13, Bravo.
She's fine. It's gonna be code 4. She tripped and fell. Hey, fam.
Yeah, she almost fell off the roof of the.
Wow.
Oh fuck! She called it in. No, we're all good here. She just fell. Yeah, it's good. So I
Alright.
don't know I don't remember how much of the preludes in this, but basically there were doing some gym there in the red there to the left of my character center screen. Was like showing off his bow skills, and I was like, you know what? If anyone could do William Tell, which I didn't know mechanically you could do in the game, it would be him. So I let him do it.
Alright. And I was also watching this. I believe I was actually uploading the actual podcast that we did earlier. And I'm pretty sure that's what I was doing, and I was going to get some sleep immediately after. So I just had dark on my other monitor, so I had to clip it. Here we go.
Yeah, whatever. I've survived worse.
Oh God, what are you gonna do?
He's gonna shoot Ryan's hat right off his head.
God.
I've seen this end badly before with a friend named Ivan.
Hey, don't talk him out of it. Just do it. Let's see it.
Just do it before I change my mind.
Oh shit! You got him as well. Holy shit!
I got him.
It seems to have nicked
Yeah,
I was like
whatever.
half paying attention when I saw this. I was like half paying attention, and the whole time I knew exactly what was going to happen. As a matter of fact, I believe you actually gave me a clip on a previous podcast, and this exactly happened to Milton. I remember. I think Nikita took the shot, and
You're the throwing knife into
exactly
Milton's
William
chest.
Tell, exactly like William Tell. And the whole time when I saw Dark say, "All right, fine, I'll do it, because I think there was like talk of like, hey, what if we shot a hat off a head? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't think I'll. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Right when that happened, my first thought is, oh my god, this is exactly like William Tell. It's going to happen. 100%. Watch. I was like paying attention to it, and I saw it coming a mile away. It was great.
I was like 50-50 because I'm like, 50-50 because I didn't know, OOC, I didn't know if it was a game mechanic. In character, I was like, if anyone could shoot the hat off someone, it would have been Jim. So I was like, fuck it. Freaking Wade there being like, hey, don't talk him out of it.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what a bro. Oh, that was so funny. Thinking of Wayne, he got super, it's in character drunk, and me and Eli had to babysit him across the entire fucking state. And there was this chick who had been ripping on his outfit the day before, and we had all thought that during the first encounter with her at the bar that she was making fun of Wayne's boots. We met her later on in Rhodes. She was making fun of my boots. And so the entire time with drunk Wayne, I just kept saying, man, you know that woman who made fun of your boots and that, and Eli went along with it. It was like, yeah, you know, she was saying your boots were stupid, not mine. The next day I changed my boots, and Wayne's like, yeah, I remember. He's like, oh yeah, I remember. I remember that that she said your boots were stupid, not mine. I was like, well, fuck. I thought you'd be too drunk to remember. It's like, and you gotta change your boots. No, it was completely unrelated. It was because I I just happened to notice after she insulted him that Maria's moonshine vomit all over my boots actually stained them, and I needed to replace them. Not because I got self-conscious over my boots. I mean, I like my new boots, but I mean, it's just funny. I'm like, I don't know if it's like, I don't think you'd ever pin Ryan as someone to be super self-conscious, but I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna change my boots. It's funny because like after that, on that day where he was all drunk and that, like we ran into someone and I was like, oh yeah, see these boots right here? These are professional horse racing boots right here. Then Wade made a fucking joke about that after when I changed them. It's like, well, I don't know if you're in the horse races anymore because you got rid of your professional horse racing boots.
Nice.
A lot
That
of
is
fun.
funny.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll move on to Artist of the Week. I actually really don't know who should go first. I guess I will. My Artist of the Week for today is Jimi Hendrix. What can I say about one of the greatest guitarists of all time? Basically, I honestly don't know what I could actually say about this guy. He deserves to be in every rock and roll Hall of Fame, every music Hall of Fame there is. Really, really something. He was born in November 27, 1942, and he only had a 20. He was only alive to the age of 27, and he only was in the music business for 7 years. But he left an everlasting impact that is legendary. A lot of people and experts all say that it was his Star Spangled Banner performance that ended up being basically the greatest performance of all time. It's very easy to see why. And basically, without saying any words, he ended up armed with only his... What was it? It was a Fender Stratocaster. Is the guitar that he played at Woodstock, and he basically plays a Star Spangled Banner, and he basically, with his guitar, he tries to simulate bombs dropping as he's playing. So some people will probably say he like really butchered the Star Spangled Banner, but it's kind of hard to simulate bombs dropping when you're using just a guitar. So he does the performance. The crowd wants an encore. He comes back out. He plays more songs. By the end of it, the guy collapses because he's just exhausted. And he basically gave the performance of a lifetime. And a lot of people regard that was the greatest music performance in history. Lot of stuff to like really just break down just from that alone. But also, it's kind of hard to not talk about Jimi Hendrix without talking about my favorite band of all time, Motorhead, because Ian Kilmister, frontman, bassist for Motorhead, before he really got into a band that could actually accept him, he was a roadie for Jimi Hendrix. And during his time, he actually just, like, he would get people everything. He would always say, hey, lend me a 5, I need to go get some drugs. Hey, lend me a 10, I need to go get some food. Stuff like that. He would always get, like, food for everyone. He would always get, like, drugs for everyone. And because he kept saying, lend me $5, lend me 10, lend me 20, he kept trying to, like, get money. He would always say, lend me. And because of that, the name stuck. so he went from Ian Kilmister to Lemmy Kilmister because of Jimi Hendrix. So, like, Jimi Hendrix, he basically changed in one person's entire life. And so many people highly regard Jimi as the greatest guitarist of all time, and I'm not gonna deny that. He's really something. I thought I even heard that, like, Jimi, he would even, like, bend and stretch the neck of the guitar sometimes, because he doesn't always have, like, a whammy bar, he always doesn't have foot pedals, so he tries to simulate it by just kind of, like, bending and stretching the neck of the guitar. You kind of see that if you ever see, like, a live performance of him. He doesn't do it all the time, but he does do it from time to time. And yeah, and basically, this was a story I actually had in my back pocket for a while. I've been wanting to tell it, so I guess I'll just go ahead and tell it now. So, so I'm just gonna go ahead and openly say, everyone, please, don't do drugs, because here's why. So, Lemmy and Jimi Hendrix both have a lot of passions. They love women, they love music, and they also share a love of acid. Not a whole lot of people actually like acid, because after the first hit, you can't get the same high again. Well, with the great minds of both Hendrix and Lemmy, they actually discovered if you double the dose, you get high again. So by the end of the day, they were taking acid by the handful and just downing it. They were taking it like it was fucking candy. So, yeah, it still baffles my mind, how the hell did Lemmy live to the age of 75 pulling crap like that out? It's like, how the hell did he pull it off? So, yeah, that was like a crazy ass story that I remember hearing, and basically some of the knowledge I actually do know of Hendrix actually comes from Lemmy. I remember seeing a documentary, and he was just telling stories with Dave Grohl, actually, and he was basically telling everyone that he actually got ripped off multiple times when he was trying to, like, do gigs and stuff. A lot of people probably don't actually know this, but Jimi Hendrix was actually not that very popular when he was alive. It wasn't until after his death that people actually started listening to his music, and then people actually started finding records of Jimi Hendrix. Basically, he always had new music, because he spent hours in the recording studio just coming up with different songs, different sounds. And I even remember a radio show that even said, hey, you remember the 3 albums that Hendrix had when he was alive? Yeah, what about the other 50 that came out after his death? And I just started laughing, because I was like, it's because his fans booed him off the stage when he was alive. So he was basically forced to become a one-hit wonder, because no one wanted to hear the new stuff. They always wanted to hear the classics. And so because of that, he was just kind of like a one-hit wonder by default, because he would just get booed off stage. So it's just kind of funny, like, now, all of a sudden we see, like, how good he really was, but it's sad that he probably died thinking that he wasn't much of an impact to music, but yet he was so much more than that. And yeah, I think the only other thing that I could think of that I actually do know is there was a French DJ back in the day who, even though that Jimi was born in the US and he grew up in Seattle, he actually didn't make his name until he moved, well, I don't know if he moved, but he started touring in Europe. And there was a French DJ that actually heard his stuff. And this was before the time of, like, scandals and stuff. There would be, like, DJs that would purposely, like, get paid either by a management team or sometimes by the band directly, I think. Or someone like the manager of the band would, like, it was like a great way to get advertisement. you pay off a DJ, and then all of a sudden they just start playing your music around the clock. Even though that you probably have like 20 other bands that you could play, but because you have somebody that's paying you top dollar to play certain songs, well, they would start, well, this guy's paying me, so like, and it's under the table, so like all that money is like 100% profit. So there was DJs that actually did do that. These days, that's illegal, and you can't do that. And so basically, what ended up happening is this was kind of like the Wild West days of radio, and every other song to like around the, at the hour, this French DJ, he would actually just play Hendrix songs. And because of that, it started picking up popularity, and all over Europe, or at least as far as those radio waves could go, like people would call up that radio show and they would be like, hey, who's this guy? I never heard of him. And it was Hendrix, and it just started picking up, and it just started taking off. And it just started to become a real big thing. And Hendrix was kind of... He just started to become popular just because of that. So even though that he was born and raised in Seattle, he basically made his name in Europe. And... or it was around that time is when Lemmy actually started to become a roadie for him. He would like set up, most of the time he was like getting everyone drugs, but at the same time he would, he would do what he can to like set up Hendrix, his gear, and like tune the guitars, all that stuff. It's basically what roadies do. And yeah, it's, I don't know what else to say about him other than I think he's really great. He's a legend, he's a classic, and I really like his music. So I'm very happy to like kind of share some of those things about Hendrix to you guys, and yeah. So I got other stuff to talk about, but that will be later. Dark thoughts, Jimi Hendrix.
I mean, it's Jimi Hendrix. I don't listen to him like actively, but I do respect like this impact. Like he was a fantastic guitarist, and his impact he had on music. So I mean, as much as I don't listen to him, I still like, he was good.
Yeah, there's definitely
good impact on things.
I want to say it's like something kind of similar to like what you. By the way, I see you in there, Andy. Thank you for showing up to the podcast. Yeah, great choice. I know it's Hendrix. It's a classic. So, but I want to say it was something similar to like when you picked Dave Grohl. I really like Dave and like the way he thinks musically, but I just have not heard a song that really like stuck out.
Dave Grohl?
Yeah, you picked him a while back.
Huh.
Dave Grohl, Foo Fighters.
Oh, Foo Fighters. Okay.
Yeah, that's his band. So, yeah. Like basically, that's kind of like how I felt with like Dave Grohl with Foo Fighters. Is they're a good band, but I just haven't heard anything from them that like I really like. And I remember bringing that up. Like, I'm really glad that you picked them because like I didn't know like where to start and like really what to say about them. But yeah, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, he's a good guy. But yeah, I just have not heard anything from him that like really stuck out to me. But yeah. And your artist of the week is...
It was picked at the last minute. Black Sabbath.
Nice.
I really don't have much to say about him. I just like Iron Man and Paranoid. Also, War Pigs is good.
Is that the reason why you only went with 3 songs?
Because those were the only 3 I knew. And I was like, oh, War Pigs 8 minutes. Well, I guess that's about as long as if I picked 4 songs. Yeah, nice. Those are the only 3 that I am familiar with Black Sabbath.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take it from here. Black Sabbath is actually one of my favorite bands of all time. no surprise. But they were actually on the list. I had them picked for Artist of the Week. Did you know that you picked 3 of the 4 songs I went with?
No.
You picked 3 of the 4 songs I went with. Do you have any clue what the 4th song might be?
I'll be honest, no clue whatsoever.
Well, do you actually know that Black Sabbath was not always the name?
No, I didn't.
They actually had 3 names before they settled on Black Sabbath. Get this! Black Sabbath was actually once called Polka Tulk Blues Band. That was the first name they went with.
I can see why they changed it.
They shortened it to Polka Tulk. Then they changed that name to Earth. And they were a acid rock band. So, yeah, they changed it to Earth. And needless to say, that was not just the end of the story there. Part of the reason why I like Black Sabbath is because a lot of people kind of say that this is like the biggest popular group that basically started metal. And metal's basically my favorite genre of all time. But I will say I'm kind of picky when it comes to my music, and I can't get over like growling in music. I can't stand that. So it happens a lot in like death metal. Death metal, I could get into it, but the growling, I just can't. Yeah. But yeah, they actually were an acid rock band, kind of similar to Hendrix, actually. And they actually had also a slide guitarist by the name of Jimmy Phillips. They also had a guy on a saxophone called Alan Clark. And basically, they were told to leave, and they did. But then other things started happening to the band, mainly with their guitarist, Tony Iommi. Tony Iommi, he quite possibly ended up with the biggest mistake that he enjoyed. Mainly because, you have to understand, he was almost like 17 when they were pre-Black Sabbath. I don't know what name they were going by at the time, but he was 17 when he was pre-Sabbath. And he actually had a job working at a steel mill. He was a welder. And he basically was going to throw in the towel and just like, his passion was music. So that's where his heart and soul was. He really wanted to become a musician. What ended up happening was he actually had a plan that he wasn't going to show up to work one day. His mom talked him into it. Again, 17 years old, this is what he did. So he was basically like a 15, 16... I don't know when he first got the job, because he was working odd jobs before that. But at 17, he was a welder. And so he showed up to work. A guy who was working one part of the steel mill, he didn't show up. So, sadly, again, this is what happens in life. Sometimes tragedies become the greatest thing ever. So, being pulled away from working as a welder, he's working with this machine that cuts metal. And it's designed to use thousands of pounds of pressure to just cut metal all day. So, he never worked with it before. He wasn't paying attention. He was kind of like a hippie guy at the time, so he just wasn't paying attention, and not through the digit, but through the actual bone, he sliced his middle and ring finger clean off. And obviously he was in a lot of pain, a lot of blood. And he actually says it himself. He doesn't even know how he ended up in the hospital. He was just in so much trauma. And he gets taken to the hospital. This This is the late 60s, by the way. Mid to late 60s. They didn't have that technology of, like, reconstruction, so they could not do anything with the fingers, so they just tossed them. And they clean them up, and they do what they can. No amputation or anything like that, other than from what happened with the steel mill. So, like, they told him, you cannot play guitar anymore. You can't do it. So, needless to say, he was in a lot of depression. And it was around this time he just didn't know what to do. But that's the thing about music. Sometimes things could happen. There's a story. This guy's going to be an artist of the week in the future at some point. Don't know when I'm going to pick him, but it's going to happen. There's a jazz musician. He ended up losing. He somehow was on a wagon. This was like in the 1920s, 1930s, I think. Maybe even before that. I don't know. The guy lived until the 50s. But basically, he was in a wagon with his wife. And so this was like during the primitive times, the primitive era. So they were like in a horse and wagon kind of type of thing. He had a candle and he accidentally knocked it over. It set the entire wagon on fire. He got severely burned. He lost the ability in his left hand. His ring and pinky were completely paralyzed. Now, just like Tony Iommi in the 60s, this guy, he was told, you're never going to be able to play again. Well, guess what this guy did? He used 2 fingers. His middle and index finger, even though his hand was perfectly fine, it was just, he was paralyzed in the, even though he still had them, he was paralyzed in the ring and pinky, so he couldn't use them. Or if he couldn't, like, coordinate properly to, like, hit the proper strings. So he just used 2 fingers. And he came up with a 2-finger style of playing guitar. He also was a violinist. He also played the banjo. And this guy, with just 2 fingers, learned how to play and keep going. And this guy toured in the U.S. He actually knew Duke Ellington. If you know who Duke Ellington is, if you ever heard that song, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing. It's like an old jazz, big band song. And he toured with the guy. And yeah, he became widely well known. I actually didn't know, I already know this guy. Kinda, a little bit. I just didn't know his name. But I heard his music, and I was like, wait, I know where exactly I heard that. More on that when I actually pick him for Artist of the Week. But Tony Iommi, here's a story about a jazz musician who only had 2 fingers. Very similar to him. So determination overcomes everything. And so what does Tony Iommi do? He takes his right hand, actually. I also forgot to point this out. Tony Iommi and Jimi Hendrix both play guitar left-handed. So if you ever see any live performances, you notice that they hold the guitar with their right hand for the neck. And so it happened to Tony Iommi's right hand. The jazz musician, he's right-handed, so it happened to his left hand is where all that happened. And so Tony Iommi, he does a very primitive thing to where his early days, his first patch that he kind of did for his hand, he took bottle caps and strips of leather for grip, and he would tie it around, and that's how he played guitar. And again, they were a psychedelic band, that acid rock, stoner rock. So they would play guitar kind of at a more higher pitch, and Tony Iommi, his hand would get sore with his fingertips. So he actually couldn't play for prolonged periods of time trying to play that style of a high-pitched sound. It just starts aggravating his hand with his fingers, and he can't really play for that long. So he could do like recording sessions, he could still play, but he just can't. You're going to be doing concerts, and you're going to be up there for, maybe a few hours. or a couple of minutes, however long the show goes. And so he can't do that. So he needed to learn another way, and this is where just multiple things actually happen. There's one story I heard to where they were actually doing a recording session, and right across the street, there was a movie theater, and they were airing a scary movie called Black Sabbath. One of the band members actually looks at that and it's like, man, why would anyone show up to a scary movie? And almost kind of like a light bulb, everyone just started thinking for a second, and it's like, let's do that. Let's become a rock genre for like about death and all that stuff. So like that was going on, and obviously they changed their name from Earth to Black Sabbath, and I think that was a good direction myself personally. And yeah, so basically a movie theater airing a movie called Black Sabbath got them to change the name, along with Tony Iommi's sound. Because as all of that was happening, at some point he also started noticing, because we're doing acid rock, I'm playing at a high pitch. If I tone it down and I play a low pitch, I can actually be way more comfortable and I could play a lot longer. So kind of like everything just gelled together, and that was basically what happened. So because of what happened to Tony Iommi, we kind of have metal today. And even though they are actually not the first, another artist of the week that I have in the works, they're not the first, but they were the first big popular band that broke out. And yeah, so Black Sabbath, once again, they're just classic, they're legends. Tony Iommi's story alone, like, I was in awe over all of that. Like, I just thought that was just so interesting, how life could just happen like that, to where you think you're at the lowest, but you actually gain a strength to a degree, because a lot of stuff was just, like, kind of going on at the time, and yeah, it's really something, and I just thought that was so awesome when I heard about Black Sabbath. Yeah, kind of like with Dark, Iron Man, freaking Paranoid, just classic songs, if you haven't heard them. And yeah, I also heard of War Pigs, and I thought that was the greatest. I also should probably point this out. I actually just went ahead and just said, fuck it, I'm just going to go ahead and add Black Sabbath to the Artist of the Week list. So if you haven't heard the song Black Sabbath, which I thought I also heard, that was another story I thought I heard. They did the song Black Sabbath, and they thought, yeah, let's change the name to that. So, that was like another story. I don't know if that's true, but they did the song Black Sabbath, and they also, like, really thought that was something. But then there was also the thing about the movie theater, so I don't know. So, yeah, but then again, this is also coming from a lot of stoners, so I wouldn't be surprised how much memory was lost over the years. Not just from years, but also years of drugs and all that stuff, so. But yeah, Black Sabbath is really, really good. I highly recommend them. Yeah, they're just really, really good, so. I just want to say great choices all around for today. I just thought Hendrix, Black Sabbath, that is awesome. Yeah, I don't know what else to add.
Thank you for doing my Artist of the Week better than I was going to.
Well, it's one. That's the thing about me. I love music, and sometimes I hear great stories, and yeah, it's like I said, I have a few stories up my sleeve that I always wanted to tell, but I got nothing. So, because there are some bands to where it's like, I only just really know the name, know a few songs, I really like them, but beyond that, like, I just don't know anything. And then there's other bands, kind of like today, to where I know a thing or two about Black Sabbath, I know a thing or two about Jimi Hendrix, and yeah, so, always wanted to break that out, I just didn't know how, and I figured what the hell? Do it for Artist of the Week. Do it like that. So. But yeah, so those are our Artists of the Week, and yeah, I really like them. Playlist is all updated on YouTube if you guys want to go check that out. Anyone that wants to hear the song Black Sabbath, it's on the list. Since you have 3, Dark, if you want to do 5, you could go ahead and like add 5 if there ever is a band that you want to like add a song. So
okay,
just a heads up there.
we retroactively add an Hailstorm song. No, just kidding.
Oh man. There's a reason why I actually really didn't have anything for today, because I'm kind of back into the usual routine of trying to go back and play Danganronpa, Rise of the Tomb Raider, all that. I'm going to be playing Rise of the Tomb Raider after this podcast, but I got to delete this VOD. I think to be safe, I want to download it and maybe have it as a private video on YouTube. Yeah. So, I'm going to be doing all of that, but yeah, other than that, I basically just have nothing, so I just figured, what the hell, we'll go ahead and do it. And for the first time ever, if I finish this properly, we might actually hit 1 hour and like 40 minutes. So yeah, I actually kind of want to hit that if I can. But Dark, anything going on your stream or what have you?
I'm currently sitting 9 in queue because I fucked up my timing for going in. Because it was like, oh, we're going to try something new with the reset times. I'm like, oh, are the reset times different? No, the reset times are the exact same. They're just letting people in slower now, so there's less chance of things breaking when you initially load in. So I fucked up on my timing and went about a minute later than I should have. I'm sitting 9 in queue. I've got about an hour to make it in before the horse race. So
I hope you get in.
Streaming. I hope so too. I'm gonna be really sad if I don't. I'm gonna be streaming. I gotta go to the washroom.
All right. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that if you want.
Yeah,
I'll go ahead and end the stream.
Yeah, but I'll be streaming Slay the Spire when we wait in queue, and if we don't get in queue by 9:45 to 10, which by then it'll be way too late for me to even like do a thing and get do a participation thing, unless something crazy's happened or the weather has just been crazy and they have to wait a full day-night cycle. If I don't make it by 8:45, we'll be switching over to Red Dead 2 campaign. So that's what's going to go on tonight.
Yeah, as for me, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be doing Rise of the Tomb Raider after this stream. Again, I am going to be downloading the podcast that you're seeing right now. I'm going to be downloading the Twitch version, possibly upload it at some point on YouTube, all that stuff. So it's not going to be instantaneous. The stream's not going to come up immediately. I'm gonna probably be lurking for as long as I can in Dark stream, and yeah, if I keep streaming, I'm gonna drop frames, all that stuff, and I don't want to do that. So the stream's gonna come down entirely. I'll let you guys know when it comes back up, but yeah. So yeah, gonna be doing Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm gonna have fun, and what else? Tomorrow, if you guys are interested in Yakuza 0, I'm going to be doing that tomorrow, if you guys are interested. And we're going to be possibly finishing up Rise of the Tomb Raider on Wednesday. I have no plans of any kind of type of game after Tomb Raider, so I don't know what I'm going to do. Also, True Ending P4, if anyone cares about that. I'm still going through it. I just finished the Void Dungeon, so having fun there. But other than that, it's still kind of like main stuff. I kind of forget where I left off with some of those side characters and all that. But that's all being done off stream, so you guys don't need to worry there. And yeah, so I think after Rise of the Tomb Raider, I might do, I think, Danganronpa. I'm going to try and do it. It's a little hard playing P4 off stream, and then like on stream, I'm like playing Danganronpa, so hopefully time has passed and I could probably get back into doing that, so yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. So I am going to go ahead and end this podcast here. So I think Dark said he left, so.
Oh, no, I'm still here.
Okay, you are still here. Okay.
I'm still here. Also, it was my birthday this past Tuesday. I figured I should say that.
Oh, nice.
The whole podcast. Oh, yeah, my birthday was last week.
All right.
Yay.
Okay, so, yeah. I have nothing left to say. Any last minute words, thoughts?
I hate myself for messing up the queue.
That damn queue, man. Alright, guys. We'll see you guys on... When is Dark gonna be hosting?
I
on
thought
the 20...
you were going to say Wednesday. I'm like, excuse me? When do we move this?
I was gonna say the 22nd.
You just said when, and my brain automatically filled Wednesday. 7 out of 12. Woo.
But yeah, he's gonna be doing it on the 22nd, so...
6.
We'll see.
Holy shit, we might actually get in.
Oh shit!
Oh, back to 7. No.
That fucking queue!
And back up to 8. God damn it. Alright. Okay, all the hype's over.
So close, and yet so
So
far.
close. Now back up to 9.
Someone fix that goddamn queue. Alright, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. From me and Dark, bye everyone. See you on the 22nd.